What do you miss the most from pre-Ovid? As a person who works nights, stores and restaurants that are open late, I used to be able to get out of work at whatever hour and have a dozen different grocery stores and fast food restaurants I could stop at on the way home. And now 2 years after the pandemic I have only one or two, and sometimes they'll be closed anyway for whatever reason. Not being able to book things long in advance, because you have no idea what the situation will be like in a handful of months. You can sure as hell buy the tickets for a gig that's happening months from now. But is it actually gonna happen when it's supposed to? Who the frick knows? I guess I miss not having a stack of inconveniences that have to be dealt with in order to do public things. It's not that any one inconvenience is too much, but it's just so many little things. Movies in the theater and convention season, and all virtual social life is sucking. My sister, not seen her in person since the start as she works abroad. Sure, we video chat, but 2 years is a long time to not see someone in person. Really living. This feels like just existing. I'm stuck with this overwhelming feeling of ennui, bored with food, bored with TV, bored with social media, bored with books. Honestly, just the feeling of security we didn't realize. You want to go out, go for it. Making plans somewhere out of town, you go right ahead. Planning a vacation somewhere, no problem. Now you can't really make any large-scale plans without the decent chance it'll get cancelled and you lose the down payments. A normal university experience. Where I live, many universities have been mostly virtual since March 2020, so the community and social aspects of university has been almost entirely absent. I'm currently in first year of college. I hope next year I'll finally have some classes in the actual college, instead of my bedroom. Not living in a constantly changing system. Pre-Ovid, everything was scheduled. School holidays, places were open to visit. But since Ovid, everything that has to do with the government is constantly changing. I just miss being on stable ground. In-person classes. Before Ovid, I took a drawing class, a sewing class, etc. Now, it's so much harder to try out a new hobby. Being present-minded, here and now sort of mentality. Last 2 years feels like I've paused things waiting for this pandemic to blow over. But the more time passes, the more I feel like I'm just wasting away. If it makes sense. Easy travel. Pre-Ovid I used to head either overseas or interstate often, with minimal planning needed. I renewed my passport December 2019, so that was unnecessary cost considering. Understanding what people say. I have bad hearing loss and I rely hard on reading lips, far more than I realized. Now that everyone is wearing a mask and their voice is slightly muffled, I'm constantly asking people to repeat themselves. Making appointments of various kinds, medical, dental, renewing driver's licenses and such, and especially vet appointments, seems like a huge hassle now, and sometimes the next free slot is weeks, months out. All the restaurants that went out of business, tried and true ramen shops, Chino Cubano hole in the walls, classic Italian fare, the underrated Mediterranean fusion spot that always gave you a little extra hummus without you asking, all the places my fiance and I used to get lost in, they're all freaking gone. It really sucks. I miss the fact of just being sick without any other kind of concern. My friends. I went from the most socially active person on the planet to a lonely a-hole. Some got engaged and disappeared. Lots of them went away for work. Others simply disappeared, and knowing new people is hard as hell nowadays. These things all happened even before, but pandemic really got them bigger. God only knows how bad I'd go back in time. Socialization. It's so hard to make friends right now. I feel very isolated. Deaf person able to communicate with people without a mask, so I can see their face and read lips. I've been feeling lonely. P.S. Man guys, I just saw this as of now in all those awards. Wow. Thank you so much, Reddit people on here. You're my friends. Internet hugs. Thank you for making my day. Regular freaking doctor appointments. No, I do not want to do my annual OBGYN visit through a video. Pretty sure that's how you get PIN. As much as I dislike Walmart, Damn, do I miss them and other stores being open late night. All of my night shift friends have suffered and forced to only shop on days off. I miss not thinking about everything as pre-Ovid. Before the pandemic, I usually just thought of past events as past events. But now, I often find myself labeling everything from 2019 and back as, oh, that was before Ovid. It's sad that the pandemic has gotten to the point where it defines your entire life. My favorite California burrito place, they're gone. They were jammed in a small space in a strip mall, but their prices and quality kicked the crap out of the competition. I put one of their paper menus in my filing cabinet so I will always remember them. I can't believe I didn't post it. So many requests for the name. It was El Amigo in Imperial Beach, San Diego. Vacations. I had one booked for tail end of March 2020. Literally got canceled on me about a week prior. I miss vacations and being able to travel. Not feeling like society is a joke. Honestly, the pandemic really hit home that we are all just making it up as we go along and no one knows what they're doing. The certainty, and even if life was uncertain in its own way, it was never this uncertain. Got a holiday booked for 6 months' time? 99.9% you'd get to do it. Got a wedding to look forward to? Yeah, that was going to happen. Now we can't even be certain there's anything to look forward to. Medium-level friendships. People I was very close with, I put in the effort to stay close to. The exhaustion of video calls was worth it to keep them in my life consistently. I let go of a lot of very surface-level friendships that I don't really miss. People I saw at work sometimes or hung out with mostly. Because we knew the same people. They were cool people, but we just weren't really part of each other's lives. But I miss the friendships in the middle. The people I went to college or grad school with that would get together around holidays or for weddings. People I wouldn't see weekly or anything, but would be worth a weekend trip to share an activity. I tried doing video call game nights with them too when this all started, but you can only do so many hours on Zoom in a week before it just isn't any fun even to see friends, and we fell out of touch. I've been trying to find ways to reconnect in recent months, and it's helped a lot. Seeing and spending time with my mom, who passed away December 2020. Live music, going to shows, not having foggy glasses all the time from mask wearing. Not having to talk about the same damn thing all the time. More mild depression. I have severe depression now and getting a therapist is basically impossible, because everyone has depression, in addition of maybe having other mental problems. I'd love to have the ability to get therapy now, instead of in 2 months, and then I go there without being accepted. Lower prices. Housing went up. Food as well. Prices of petrol, electricity and heating are through the roof. Travel. Low anxiety. People hanging out without a care and laughing and shoot. Not having the constant anxiety of things like wallet, keys, phone, where's a damn mask? Wondering if I'm upsetting someone else for standing too close to them in line, feeling guilty about going to see friends, not being able to go to my office to work, not being able to plan international vacations, wondering if my wedding will actually be able to happen, etc., etc., etc. I'm just so freaking burnt out. I used to try to be mindful of my waste, and for the most part other people did too. But I use so many disposable masks and wet wipes now and I feel really bad about it. Uber pool. I used to always be able to get cheap Ubers with it and rarely had anyone else ride with me. I miss travel. Planned to work for a year and then head to New Zealand after uni for a year of travel. I graduated in November and then Ovid hit in April. Even 2 years later I haven't managed to save as nearly as I'd originally like due to being made redundant and unemployed for a while. But I'm hoping to head over there in August, Ovid depending. Everything. This pandemic ruined every aspect of my life. I miss the person I was before my mental breakdown last year. I miss being able to have friends, to date, and to have at least some kind of optimism about the future. Life is a living hell right now. Every waking moment. Actual menus in restaurants and not scanning a QR code to read a non-mobile-friendly menu. Spontaneity. Pre-Ovid, if I wanted to go to a store or restaurant I went. I didn't have to check its Ovid hours, mask requirements, whether it was open or just for pickup, etc. I miss spontaneous hangouts at friends' houses, hugs, random maquillas, vacations, only having my existing chronic pain illness and not worrying about one more long-term illness. Wearing lipstick. Vain? I know, but I'm not a makeup girl, and loved wearing lipstick. Not directly thinking about the worst thing ever when I hear someone cough. Honestly, out of everything, I just miss being able to go out and be in public without having "am I going to catch a horrible virus" in the back of my mind all the time. I miss being able to relax. I haven't felt relaxed outside of my home in 2 years. Being able to cough in public without people looking at me like I just murdered a child. Being able to get on a plane to Australia to visit my boyfriend. Haven't seen him since November 2019. Sad face. For me, it boils down to the ability to act spontaneously. Pre-Ovid, if we felt like going to Las Vegas or the beach for a weekend, we could just jump on a plane and go. I feel like now we would have to check for mask requirements on the airline and at our destination, fish out our vaccine paperwork and make sure we met those requirements, find attractions and events that are open and available, make backup plans in case something got canceled, and then make a backup travel plan in case our travel gets shut down. Even simple things like going to a movie or a restaurant are a pain. Are they open? Are they seating inside? How long is the wait? Nothing is fun anymore. Everything is a pain in the ass.